From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE. This Sunday, 4th of July. We have breaking news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In the first part of this recording, we'll go over the monthly stimulus checks and why there may actually be more months of checks. Then in the second part of this video, we go over the fourth stimulus package and why in addition to those stimulus checks, you may be getting additional sums of money that are absolutely incredible. And then the third part of this video, we'll be going over what they're doing for the fourth stimulus next week. It's getting very exciting. And they gave us a full briefing going into the weekend. And then we turn to fifth stimulus, which heats up as well, with another stimulus check and a raise in benefits. And then we turn to the big money that viewers are continuing to get, $22,000, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. It's your day to get that big money as well. It's a big 4th of July. I'm wearing your Sunday red. It's whether it's golf or a tiger or a 4th of July or crypto down, we're wearing red. And it's maybe it's for the Cardinals. Sorry, Canoe. And there we go. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Happy 4th of July to you and your families, and thank you for being part of this incredible family. I hope you're having a beautiful 4th of July. A lot of fireworks, a lot of hot dogs, a lot of ribs, and a lot of lobsters. No, not a lot of lobsters. That does not fit in there. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful day. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. It's beautiful here in Southern California, although it's a little bit muggy. It's on the cool side, but it's a little bit too tight, the air. So if you see me choke and no longer speak during the rest of this video, it's because, I sort of died. But boy, what an exciting day as this country celebrates its birthday. We celebrate red, we celebrate purple, and we celebrate becoming a family every single day on this channel. Let's get to the breaking news. The fourth stimulus heats up with a fourth stimulus check. In this recording, we'll be going over the fourth stimulus check update of 2021. Part 1, we'll be going over why there may actually be more months of checks than initially thought. Oh boy. Then we'll go over the fourth stimulus package and why there may actually be more money in there for you in addition to stimulus checks than we initially thought as well. Oh my. And then in the third part of this video, we'll be going over the incredible details about what's happening next week as they set everything ready to go, and here we are. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, which raised your benefits up a lifetime, has a new benchmark, and has a new stimulus check. Oh, wow, that is getting excited. And then we cut to the big money the viewers continue to get. $22,000 for Nisi, $12,000 for John. Viewers constantly getting $5,000 to $12,000. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning and taped in the afternoons like right now. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, followed by Overnights Crypto at 5:30. Evenings LALATE, Evenings Crypto at 7 o'clock. And now the return of Sirloin at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every night on this channel. So subscribe, a 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. We are defying all logic by this incredible love and family. Hit that subscribe button right now. I want you part of this family. Also like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that monthly stimulus check starting right now. The House bill, the Senate proposal, two approaches for monthly stimulus checks, but suddenly the House might seem a lot more better. Why? We'll see what happened this week. House bill, pandemic plus 1 year of stimulus checks. Senate, July to just December, so just 6 checks. Payout, House, $1,000 a month after the first month of 2,000. Senate, the monthly is unknown, but word on the street is the monthly is this. OMG. Now that is deliciousness. More delicious than a 4th of July potato salad. That is deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000 a person, or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400 a person. Now, here is what happened this week. Was we started the week, well, last week, with the understanding that the legislators may contend the pandemic is over. And if the pandemic is over, that would mean that the House bill provides only 1 year of checks, which is $13,000. But this week ended with a big series of shockers. Most now believing the pandemic is not over. Warren Buffett, pandemic's not over, he says. LA County, pandemic's not over, they say. The airlines, pandemic's not over, they say. They say business travel's not back. Well, if that's the case, then the House would be providing you a lot more than 12 checks, which would be a lot more than $13,000. And compare that to this and the Senate, I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now and vote House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from this 4th of July and how's the weather. Vote House or Senate right now, and you may have a different opinion than you just had 3 days ago. That's how the breaking news just changes by the minute on this channel. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats want everyone who got a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. So this is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits. Single individuals, you get a fourth stimulus check, $75,000 or less. The Democrats want you to have one. The Democrats want married couples to have a fourth stimulus check, just double it. And the Democrats want a family of 4 to have a fourth stimulus check, just quadruple it. The fourth stimulus check is not income, so it's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check would be the same amount for all people, including adult dependents. And the fourth stimulus check comes monthly. It does not come in waves. So if you see the stimulus check trying the skateboard at the skateboard park today, and it's sort of bouncing up too much and sort of falling off the skateboard, don't try to wave at the check. It's not a waveable check. Hey, check, I can see you trying out the skateboard. Bounce. Oh, ow, ouch. I guess a bounce check then. Sort of bounced off the skateboard. So there you go. The Democrats represent you get the first check in the month of July for the month of July, and it would not be a bounce check. In the month of August for the month of August, and it would not be a bounce check either. It wouldn't come with a skateboard either. And they represented the final vote would be by July 4th, but they can still get it done and get you a check in the month of July. Those details coming up in the second part of this video. In the second part of this video, we'll be going over the fourth stimulus package that the checks are in and why there may be more money in there as well for you. Wow, this is getting deliciousness. And then in the third part of this video, we're going over what's happening next week. And those legislators actually gave us a roadmap going into the weekend. Bless them. I'll go over all that breaking news in the second half of this video. But let's turn to a preview of the fifth stimulus coming up later. Fifth stimulus has another stimulus check and raise your benefits up lifetime. And boy, there's some great economic data we ended the week with, signifying that your benefits may go up higher than we initially thought. OMG, that's coming up later in this video. But let's get some money. If you're new to this channel, this is what we do as a family. We get money. When third stimulus was passed in spring of this year, and everyone said you're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check, I said, yeah, what? So big deal, you're getting $1,400. I'm going to get you $14,000. I'm going to focus on getting you all the other money in the third stimulus that you're eligible for. And I have to applaud you. You have been doing a brilliant job. And so if you're in the live chat right now, jump in the live chat and say what monies you gotten. If you've done this before, jump in the live chat right now. Start posting every penny you've gotten from this channel, whether it's SNAP, rent, or utilities. Here's what you need to know. This is very much like December 2020. We were waiting for second stimulus to pass. And some people were just sitting around waiting for the check. In fact, it never came in December. It came after December. But what did I do? I got viewers $250,000 of rent to pay their bills, to pay their utilities, to pay their food. And viewers like Tyrone got $15,000 for his family in Boston at the time. That's what we do. So get a pen and paper ready. So I'm going to go over the big money for you right now. They're going to get you. I've been getting people money all throughout this pandemic because money is money. You don't care if it's called stimulus check or if it's called something else. So long as it's money, so long as there's a lot of it, you're good. $600 ain't going to cut it. Lots of money is what cuts it. And in the last week, Nisi got $22,000. John, $12,000 for SNAP. Art, 3 items. Viewers are getting $5,000 to $12,000 daily on this channel. I want that person to be you as well. So get that pen and paper ready. And we're going to go over all the details. We're going to go for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners utilities. You're going to reach out to different places for different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next, and that one will say yes. All right, you ready? You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. The key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Yet don't say words that you don't know, like stimulus or Mitch's mixtape drop date. Ouch, my ear just hurts thinking about that song. Oh, God. Mitch rapping, my goodness. Yeah, two Avil, please. It just, yeah, they don't know those words. They don't want to know those words, so don't say the wrong words. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful money, and congratulations to the viewers who have gotten $10,000 to $12,000 for rent day in, day out on this channel this last week. That's what we do on this channel. Getting money. We're cashing checks, not tracking checks. We're cashing checks. This is your day to get that money as well. Next pot of money, it's SNAP. And SNAP is wonderful. It is money for food from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture to get it. Now, I've been always saying that rent is about $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent. I was disproven by you. You've been getting $10,000 to $12,000 day in, day out on this channel. I've been saying SNAP, for family 4 in Hawaii is about $16,000 a year. John, he got $12,000 and his family is not in Hawaii. So you are just killing it. Congratulations to Lynn Glenn, who got it for her son and her mom and herself, and Gail, who got it as well. What is SNAP? It is money for food from Department of Agriculture. How do you get it? Call Department of Agriculture. How much does it pay? It pays that $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. But why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. And if you've gotten SNAP, jump in the live chat right now. And you're killing it. You're getting $15,000, $16,000 for SNAP for family 4 in Hawaii. You're getting $5,000 at least, but clearly $10,000 to $12,000 for rent. And we are only 11 minutes into the video. You're killing it. I'm killing it. The check on that skateboard, you're just a bounce check. No one wants a bounce check. No, not even Russia. What the say? They don't want checks. They don't want dollars. But let's get some more money. And it's coming back for your state. The state has been ordered to return money back to you. And what is it? It's the refund of your unemployment benefits due to computer error. Well, the states have been ordered by the federal government to return that money back to you. And one of you got $5,000 for this. Where is it landing? It's landing by direct deposit, that the account that you had set up for your unemployment with the state. When are you getting this refund check due to the state's computer error? Reach out to your state and say, hey, state, can you tell me when I'm getting that check due to computer error? And can you track it this time with a computer that actually works? And then finally, the last part of the money is the refund check from IRS. If you've gotten this as well, jump in the live chat. It helps inspire other people and tell people what's going on. A lot of times when you jump in the live chat and you share the numbers, we just get surprised that, wow, the numbers are going up. Like the utilities, I would used to say $300, $800, $900 worth of utilities. Viewers are getting $3,000 in utilities. So it shows that the numbers are ramping up. And it also shows that you have to look at the different places, not just your city, but your county and your state. All right, this refund money from the state, from the IRS. Let's go over how much, when, and where. First, how much? Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 in your total tax bill, of which $4,000 was your refund check. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. When? This month. Can you track it? Yes. Go to irs.gov, do a transcript search, and it'll reveal stuff that you never knew. It'll reveal stuff you don't want to know. It'll reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid. It'll reveal who is Mitch's inspiration for his new rap career. It'll reveal is Mitch's track list been leaked to Kevin McCarthy? And finally reveal the tax return check, refund check you're getting. Oh my goodness, can we top that? We can. As we go into the sixth second major update of your fourth stimulus check of 2021 starting right now. Well, here we go. The exciting details is that the fourth stimulus package may have other money in there that we never knew, in addition to your stimulus checks. Earlier in this video, we went over the fact that there may be more months of stimulus checks. And now we're learning that there may be more money in there. And no, I have to laugh. I'm sorry. I just have to laugh. No matter how many times I impersonate the naysayers, they just still come around. And they're still saying the same ridiculous story. You look like a bunch of buffoons, saying it's just still roads and bridges. Oh, my goodness. Do we have the cliff notes for these videos? Because apparently the naysayers don't even know what's going on at this point. So the naysayers are still like 3 weeks behind on the news at this point. Let's recap. 3 weeks ago, everything was together. 3 weeks ago, everything was together, and things were different then. We were in June. And at that time, we had a recon that had your stimulus checks in there and roads and bridges and bridges and roads. And Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer had been meeting day in, day out, unbeknownst to us, saying the recon, which that's all we had at the time, was too big. It was too big. It was too much stuff in the recon. So they finally decided, yeah, it's too big. It will not pass. Now, this is very important for the third part of this video. It would not pass. You cannot call something that won't work for a vote. It's not going to pass, meaning you get nothing. People are sort of obsessed suddenly with calling things for a vote on this. Not my viewers, but elsewhere on social media. Just call for a vote. No, it won't pass. What do you mean it won't pass? They don't care about us? No, they do care about you. There's just too much in there, and when you put too much in there, things don't work. So they understood they wanted to pass, and so what did they do? They took Roads and Bridges out. They did an own spin-off series, Roads and Bridges. The title of the spin-off TV series, Nash Bridges, with John Johnson, with that beautiful car. The Barracuda, if you know one, send me a DM. Anyone selling your Barracuda? Send LA to DM. The Bipartisan has Roads and Bridges in it now by itself. Nothing else. Your stuff stayed where it was. Recon, forced stimulus, checks, and climate. And suddenly at that point, the naysayers were silenced, which became benefit number, well, let me go over benefit number one, which is the most important one. It became that recon was now passable. Now that recon was shrunk. Honey, I Shrunk the Recon. Yeah, that movie with Rick Moranis. Honey, I Shrunk the Recon. Shrunk the Recon because the roads and bridges were taken out of the recon. Now the recon became passable. Now that roads and bridges were in the bipartisan and separated away. You don't believe me? Let's read what the GOP says. The GOP says Mitch was set up. He was set up. Did you hear that? You didn't hear that. Yeah, Mitch was set up. You just didn't see it. You don't read my lips. So, a conservative print media, political print media, which actually has really good news reporting generally, except it's very slanted, had a great op-ed. And the op-ed's title was that the Republicans should never have done the bipartisan. It starts with the obvious and then gets into the detail. The obvious was in the op-ed. The higher the recon was, the harder it was to pass, obviously. By allowing the Democrats to take out some parts of the recon and put into the bipartisan, it made the recon smaller, obviously. Honey, I Shrunk the Recon. In other words, the bipartisan made the recon passable. Thank you. Check in the mail to you. Thank you. Your tip is in the mail. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then it goes on to say the GOP should never have agreed to the bipartisan because now it allowed an ungodly amount of money in the recon to be passed. Mitch was set up. Yeah, you didn't hear that from me. So yeah, that was the real big benefit, was because now that roads and bridges are separated away from the recon is now easier to pass because it's smaller. Now, what became of item number two of this was that your recon finally had an identity to it. An identity to it among people who actually have a brain cell. There is just like these strange naysayers who don't listen to anything. They don't even listen to Mitch at all. And they just sort of swirl around on the internet and they land like a fly. And they're like, there's nothing in there for you. It's all roads and bridges. I'm like, folks, naysayer, that's like 5 weeks ago. Catch up to the news at this point. Here's what happened is that over the last 3.5 weeks, those naysayers just kept on saying, there's nothing in there for you. Just roads and bridges, roads and bridges. There's no money for people. I haven't heard it anywhere. I don't hear it talked about. I only hear about roads and bridges. Oh, goodness. Can you pull up an article from like the last decade? Can you focus on something like a little bit more recent? Yeah, it's the roads and bridges are out of there. They're down the river. They're in the next zip code. Now it's recon. And the recon is in a beautiful fort and it's protected by progressives. And they don't want you touching their recon. In fact, the recon is Democratic. It's for Democrats, written by Democrats. And so they're not having GOP members touch their recon, of course. That's sort of obvious. GOP doesn't want to touch the recon. No, they don't even want to touch it with hand sanitizer. They don't even want to touch the recon. So that's the second great news. The third great news is that now that the recon is in its own fort and the GOP doesn't even want to touch the recon with hand sanitizer, well, guess what the Democrats are doing? They're now giving you more items for stimulus in the recon than you had before. Yeah. Now, one thing that the progressives have made very good at is they've really kept the other items of the recon sort of under cloak and dagger. So we have heard there is money for medicine and money for children and money for adults and money for seniors. And now we're hearing that there's money for housing. Viewers are asking me, how does this housing money work? We don't know yet. Viewers are jumping in the live chat saying, is there money for student loan debt forgiveness? You never know. They are literally just piling stuff into the recon. Here's what you need to know. These are Democrats writing for Democrats for voting for Democrats. This has nothing to do with the GOP. They don't have to ask any permission of the GOP. GOP just wants nothing to do with it. And if you don't believe me, let me read you the quotes. They actually say they're doing this. You didn't hear the truck? You didn't hear the truck? The backup beep, 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 beep. Yeah, that's that U-Haul truck being driven by the progressives. Bernie's driving it. They're backing it up and dropping lots of progressiveness into the recon. Here we go. Representative Elon Omar tells me what they're doing. We have a commitment that regardless of what happens with the bipartisan, the Congress will give us a recon that goes as far as we want it to go. Wow. Wow. And then there's Representative Richard Torres, Democrat out of New York, who says that he's not going to sign for the recon unless it has his housing in there. Housing? Everyone's adding something else in. I refuse to vote for any bill that fails to be linked to the largest recon, and I want the recon to be large. And then there's another article that says Progressive Caucus is meeting with the White House daily to ensure that the White House understands that the recon must go as large as it needs to go. Okay. This is about as obvious as it gets. And then finally, we have the protection mode. The protection mode was manifested 2 weeks ago when Jollipaw and Schatz both said that the White House has told the progressives to keep on doing what the progressives are doing. The White House likes this. And the White House has actually said the progressive priorities are the White House's own priorities. There we go. Wow. How do we get to this wonderful spot where there may be more months of checks and there may be more progressive checks for other subject matters in that recon for you as well? From Jollipaw. Jollipaw had written Schumer a letter over 2 weeks ago saying, call the vote shock. Now, that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who were among the 100-plus House Democrats who had written the president letters saying, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Can we top that? Yes. Remember, just a second ago, I said to you, the recon is being written by Democrats for Democrats. Well, who's actually the people writing the recon parts that we're interested on? One of them is this group. 7 members of them wrote the president a letter over 2 weeks ago saying, Mr. President, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus recon when we write the fourth stimulus recon. Wow, well, who are these people? These are the people who wrote your third stimulus recon and gave you that third stimulus check earlier this year. Wow, that's great. And what else are they doing? They're representing they're doing a fifth stimulus recon next year with another check. Well, fifth stimulus recon later this year for a check next year. Oh my goodness, now that's wonderful news. What else have they done? They've written your first and second stimulus check. And who are they? They're on the House Ways and Means Committee that is solely and exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks for you. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? Yes. As the president has now anchored for stimulus to the edge of the finish line by going overseas internationally 3 weeks ago yesterday to anchor for stimulus to the edge of the finish line for purposes of international corporate taxes. Now, if you see sort of a reoccurring theme from this group that they sort of plotted things out and set up, Mitch, then you're certainly zoned in correctly. Here's what you need to know is that the recon was always paid for by corporate taxes. But now that the bipartisan is separated away, it's not paid by corporate taxes. What's ironic is that the president told the American people that the reason he needed to raise corporate taxes was to pay for roads and bridges. That was sort of a slip of the tongue, I guess you would say, because he didn't need corporate taxes to be raised to pay for roads and bridges. He needed corporate taxes to be raised to pay for the recon. Now that the roads and bridges are out of the recon, is he concerned about paying for the roads and bridges with corporate taxes now? It was just to pay for your recon. Don't matter what's in the recon. It's going to be corporate taxes. If there's money for hairdressers in the recon, it's paid for by corporate taxes. Yeah, we said it was for roads and bridges originally, but the roads and bridges are gone. It's just tough. Yeah, it's a little devilish there, isn't there? So what did the president do 3 weeks ago? Well, he had said, in raising corporate taxes, it may be concerning because some businesses may move overseas where the corporate tax rate is lower. So the president reached out to those countries overseas and said, raise your taxes up. And they raised their taxes up tentatively for December and said, come on over, celebrate the holidays with us. The president said, hey, staff, can we bring Dr. Jill's potpourri to them in December and have them sign on the dotted line? The staff said, Mr. President, it's Europe. They do things differently. Bring them potpourri in June and then drive on the other side of the road. He said, okay. So he went and visited them 3 weeks ago and had them sign on the dotted line now before fourth stimulus, which anchors fourth stimulus recon to the edge of the finish line. Because no longer does fourth stimulus recon need to have a provision in it about international corporate taxes. It's in the international agreement, making it easier for the Democrats who are running the recon to pass the fourth stimulus recon because the provisions about international taxes are no longer needed in the recon. Wow, now this was smart planning. And can we get better news than that? We can, as we go into the third part of this video, in which we go over how they call the vote next week, what they're doing all next week, and how you need to know that the nuances of this is what's so critical going forward. What we do on this channel is we go over all the specifics so you understand how things work, how things move, and how things have to get done correctly. And we go over fifth stimulus as well. But first, something even more wonderful than that is the volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, SNAP, or internet, reach out to them. How do you find them? Open the description of this video. Go down in the description, you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of a house is Nancy's face. No, it's not Nancy's face. It's a link to the community page. Community page, news.lalate.com/community. They are there to help you get that rent, utilities, mortgage, and internet. They're under a picture of some kitty cats. Reach out to them, and they'll help you get that money. Now, they cannot get you front row seats to Mitch's debut concert, rapping by himself. They cannot get you the ingredient list to $12 ice cream, but it is the same ingredient list as $1 ice cream. And they cannot get you access to Mitch's fan club because I think it's defunct. At least after this week it is. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with the big exciting details about your fourth and fifth stimulus check. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE with exciting details across the board about your fourth stimulus check update and your fifth stimulus check update as well. How are you? It's a big Sunday, 4th of July. I'm excited you for joining me. I'm recording all weekend long, not a single video missing across the board. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Also, like this video. Every like you deliver helps in the algorithm ranking. It also delivers a side of parsley. And consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE. Stay on this video, it'll automatically take you into Evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. Then that show takes you automatically into Overnight's Crypto at 5:30. Next up after that is Evenings Crypto at 7 o'clock. Sirloin is back every night now at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we go into our overnight shows at 9 o'clock, 11:30, 3 a.m., 3:30, and into early mornings at 4 a.m. the next day. And with that, let's cut right to fifth stimulus. There is so much exciting details across the board with fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus first, we'll give you another stimulus check. Those House Ways and Means subcommittee members represent, in addition to writing your third stimulus recon, your fourth stimulus recon right now, they're writing your fifth stimulus recon later this year. It will have another stimulus check in there for 2022 next year. Number two, the president is dedicating $1 billion to Social Security Administration. This is wonderful news. As to the debacle, the horrible debacle, third stimulus, where people did not get checks on time. Now you'll get the fourth stimulus check and fifth stimulus checks and your monthly checks on time. If you're missing a first or second or third stimulus check, still, you need to do two things. File a tax return and request it on the tax return. There's a line item where you request it. If you haven't done both, go to a tax preparer. Finally, let's go into the big news about the raising of up your benefits lifetime. You've learned pretty well from this channel over the last few weeks that how this works. The only thing really remaining at this point is how high that inflationary benchmark will be. Let's go over all the details, and let's go over the breaking news that impacted that inflationary rate on Friday. So inflation will be the new benchmark. They'll raise your benefits up, they'll remove the asset limit, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over the nuances of this starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up under fifth stimulus. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, SSA, or multiple benefits. Then they apply a benchmark. Now you understand from watching these videos how these next steps work. I've educated you along the way. They first apply that benchmark every December. What's a benchmark? You understand that a benchmark determines how high your benefits go the next year. They apply it in about December for the next year. You understand the new benchmark is inflation. You understand inflation's going up. You understand that inflation, according to Jay Powell, as reported on this channel, you head of the Federal Reserve, will reach its highest spot in December, right when they apply the benchmark, which is absolutely wonderful news. You want it at its highest spot of the year when they apply the benchmark because it's about to go down thereafter. So the only thing that's left to remain in the discussion is how high will the inflation rate be in December? And as we gauge economic data every single day on this channel, we'll see more detail. This is the detail going into the weekend. The lumber prices dropped 40% in 1 month this week, the lowest drop in recorded history month to month. This is as home sales shot up. That's a big inflation hot number. When I say hot for inflation, I mean it's going up. We've seen the consumer price index and the producer price index number in the last week hot for inflation. That's going up there as well. On Friday, we had the job creations number for the month of May, hot, higher than expected. That is another hot inflation number. So everything is really hot. Wall Street should not really have any different opinion than it did before, which is that inflation may be about 4% now, heading up to about 10%. If that's the case, let's do the analysis. It'll raise your benefits up and then apply that benchmark. And the benchmark, let's say it's 10%. Your benefits will step up 10%. Not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. So if next year the inflation rate is 2%, you'll be a +2, +10%. Wow. Now that's wonderful news. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. And now you'll be able to have some stimulus checks and a taco in your hand. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and no longer fear the marriage penalty. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear loss of benefits. Now, if you've been in the live chat and you've posted what money you've gotten, great. If you haven't, jump in there right now, whether it's rent, utilities, mortgage, or internet. The numbers are absolutely incredible. Viewers like Nisi have gotten $22,000. Viewers like Art and Nisi have gotten multiple items, rent, utilities, and SNAP. Viewers like John have gotten $12,000 for SNAP. Viewers daily are getting $10,000 to $12,000 for rent, $3,000 for utilities. How are they doing this? You notice that they have emojis of a purple hawk next to their name. They have learned since day one on this channel that the way this channel works is getting you money. If you're sitting back and waiting for a fourth stimulus check to land in your hand, and you're holding up a calendar and looking at that calendar every day, and you're not picking up the phone and calling and getting this money that's available for you under third stimulus, you're doing yourself a disservice, because there's tens of thousands of dollars that was allocated for you under third stimulus. And that's what we do on this channel. How do these viewers find this money? By becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Members have an emoji of a purple hawk next to their name. They're Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. They're delivered daily from me a breakdown of the big money that's in third stimulus, so that they can get thousands of dollars of money right now, far before a stimulus check ever arrives. And that $1,000 changes their lifetime, because guess what? It pays the bills. Money is money, and if it pays the bills, it pays the bills. So consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and pinned comment. Which brings us into the final finale of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. Going into the weekend, the House Ways and Means Subcommittee members and the House Budget Subcommittee members did us a beautiful service. What did they do? They gave us a beautiful update that said, hey, it's the 4th of July weekend, and Monday is the July 5th. But understand, we are not going to be on vacation next week. We're not going to be gone out of town next week. We're going to be in town, in the building, in the Congress building, in our office, and even better than that, we're going to be working in the subcommittees of the House for your recon every single day. Amen. I love that. Remember, the two committees that are very critical for your fourth stimulus recon are the House Ways and Means Subcommittee and the House Budget Subcommittee. And they got ahead of the news, which means saying a statement before a negative or false statement comes out, to make very clear they're working every single day next week in those subcommittees for your recon. That's the first thing you need to know. Second thing you need to know is that the word in session, INSESSION, was the how would you say it? Red herring that false narratives were the red herring for false narratives in July 2020. And I expect them to be the false narratives next week as well. What does in session mean? In session is an expression which refers to two rooms. You got a Congress, and you have the Senate floor where they vote and the House floor where they vote. And when the doors are closed and they're not voting, they're not in session. What's the false narrative? The false narrative is to tell readers from very fake news publications that when things are not in session, that everyone is out of town. That they're not only not in the building, not even in their office, but they're actually out of town. And last year I had a lot of videos I had to make where people were continually told by a particular publication that because nothing was in session, no one was working and nothing was being done. It was so untrue. That's why House Ways and Means, and that's why House Budgets clearly getting ahead of the news story, say, hey, we're here, we're working. What you need to know, and I'm telling you this for the first time on Afternoons LA, is number one, subcommittees work all the time. They work day in, day out. They work even when things are not in session. Some committees work, they write, they draft, and they vote even when there's nothing not in session on a House or Senate floor. So the subcommittee is the one that you really want to focus on. Number two, when they're done, when things are voted for and done and complete out of those subcommittees, and it's ready to be called for a vote, if the House or Senate is not in session at the time, don't worry, because the House Speaker and the Senate Majority Leader and the President can all have constitutional authority to order them back into session, which basically means much of nothing. It means that, hey, you're down the hall. We're going to be meeting in the floor in 5 hours from now. So come on over. We're unlocking the door and turning on the lights. Come on in. That's all it means. It's not like they're calling people from out of town to fly in and they're in another zip code. No, they're just down the hall, and they open the door and they go in and then they vote. So that can get done as well. Finally, what you've learned from this channel is that we are not NOT, not date chasers. We are not date chasers. Here's what a date chaser is. When? I just don't I want to know when. I just don't want to know when. No, because guess what? That's donut talk, number one. Number two, when is often wrong. Here's what you need to know. Had they called the vote on the recon when it was all together with roads and bridges, it would not have passed. It's gotten confirmation from both the GOP and also from the Democrats. It was too big. It would not have passed. Number two, once they were separated, guess what happened? Well, immediately Mitch said, call the vote on the bipartisan first. So if you had been sitting down and had heard they're calling the vote on the recon for you on a Friday, and you would have done a victory dance if you weren't my subscriber, and my subscribers would have said, wait a second, don't do a victory dance. What day is the bipartisan being called for vote? Oh, I didn't ask that, but they're sending out our checks. No, they're not. They do the vote on the bipartisan before your recon dies. Your recon must be called for a vote either first, before the bipartisan, or concurrently with the bipartisan. If it does not pass. And the great news is you don't have to worry about it, because that is what's going to happen. Now, here is also what you need to know, is that you're starting to see that how they call the vote has been really the number one issue for the Democrats for upwards of 2.5 weeks. And you have not seen them say it. Now they're admitting what they were doing. Here's the surpriser. Yeah, they did set Mitch up. Here's the surpriser. Jala Paul says that she had polled her caucus and the overwhelming majority of the caucus said, Democrats, progressives, that they were not going to vote for the bipartisan unless they called a vote for the recon first. Well, when you look at the quote, she slips up. Why did she slip up? Because the quote was from last Monday. And she says she asked her members this question 10 days before last Monday. Folks, at that point, the bipartisan was not separated from the recon. She was asking her members about this before Nancy, Chuck, and the president separated them out. So they've been plotting this out a long time, and it was a slip-up of date. She slipped by revealing that they asked that question before things had been separated out. As Nancy Pelosi says, we are never doing it the wrong way. There ain't going to be no bipartisan vote unless we have a recon bill vote. And as I said, there won't be a bipartisan bill vote unless we have a recon bill vote. Plain and simple, I use the word ain't. There ain't going to be a bipartisan bill vote unless we have a recon bill vote passed by the United States Senate. And there you go. It's important to know how you call the vote is critical. It's no longer an issue of what you're getting. It's an issue of how they call the vote. Calling the vote the wrong way will result in nothing. Calling the vote in the right way will result in you getting everything that they want you to have. And there you go. They'll be working all next week, and I will be working all weekend long, and certainly next week as well. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Also, like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Oh, wait, stop the music. I forgot Purple Power. I haven't been saying it lately. At least 3 days I've gone without saying it. You have to push people. This is the time and place to push. Even though the two paths have been separated, this is the time to push. So pick up the phone. Call your Democratic senators' offices on Tuesday. They're closed on Monday, potentially, I believe. But call them up on Tuesday. Express to them why you need multiple stimulus checks, professionally and eloquently. Everyone has their own particular subject matter. Don't call them up and ask, where is my check? Or where is this? Or when am I? No, call up and pitch the importance of the stimulus check. I need a stimulus check because my family is on SSI. We did not get enough money from this, and it's been hard, and the business is closed, or I am a business owner, and we never recovered from the pandemic. Explain your story, and they want to hear from you. Also go to social media on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and share these videos. Tag your elected officials. Hashtag MSE. We are not donut guys. We are not donut gals. We're pushing. You need to push down to the very last minute. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. Like this video and consider becoming a member. See you next on Evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. Followed by Overnight's Crypto at 5:30. Sirloin at 8, overnight's evenings crypto at 7, and Sirloin at 8 o'clock, and then we go into our overnight shows. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and stay valet for more.